Hello, and welcome to our website review series where we have Podia pros review real Podia websites, share their expertise, and answer your questions. My name is Ben Tolson, and today I'm joined by Podia pro Andrew Lane. Andrew is an online business builder who designs systems to simplify visual branding, course creation, and content marketing for entrepreneurs. He runs Design Hacker and CourseBuilderPros.com, where he helps entrepreneurs turn their expertise into a profitable online course. Today, he's going to review 3 websites for us. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ben, thanks for having me on. I'm a big fan of Podia and excited to be here today.
Yeah, we're super stoked to have you. So before we get started, for the folks who are watching, I wanted to kind of take you through how things are going to run. We're going to review 3 websites total. We're going to do them one at a time and then take a break after each one for questions. So if you have any questions as you're watching Andrew share his insights and his expertise, feel free to post them in the comments and we'll get to those. Andrew, before we jump into the first website, I have a question for you. This is kind of a 2-parter. What is your most favorite thing about being an online creator, and what is your least favorite thing?
My most favorite thing is just being in control of my schedule and my energy. So I like to work when I'm inspired. Like this morning, I couldn't sleep, so I got up, went to a coffee shop, and worked for a couple hours. Or I'll work really late at night or whenever I want. And if I don't want to work, I'll just go to the pool and hang out and relax. So just finding that cadence that works best for me and being in full control of that. What I'd like least, I think over the years, my challenge has been I don't work well on my own. So being kind of isolated and not feeling, support, wearing all the hats in my business has been the biggest challenge. So over the years, I've had
Yeah,
to learn how to find other people to work with who have, skill sets that complement, what I do well and not work with the same kind of people, but, find people who can do things that I don't like to do, but they love it and it comes naturally to them. So that's been the biggest challenge for me.
that's awesome. I feel that too. I think a lot of uh, online entrepreneurs kind of go out on their own. In a lot of ways, it's kind of necessary at first. But also, it is a little bit of, there's this lone wolf mentality sort of thing going into it. What were some of the things that kind of, I don't know, clued you in that maybe you really should surround yourself with other people and kind of build a team around yourself?
I wish I was smart enough to learn that lesson sooner. It was just from a lot of exhaustion, uh, doing too many tasks, spending too much time on things that I wasn't good at. And generally that led to just hitting bottlenecks in my business and not making the kind of money
Mm.
that I wanted. So it was through collaboration and networking that I started to, work with other people and I found over time that finding people who weren't the same as me when I had business partners or like collaborations that were with other creative people like me, we had a lot of fun, but we didn't get a lot done. So, finding people who have different skill sets or maybe more like sales oriented or process oriented can get things done and keep me on track. Those are the kind of people that I found more success with over the years.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like it was kind of an organic process for you in some ways. And you don't always want to run into like necessity as the creator of those shifts in your business, but it's great that you recognized that when you did and you were able to kind of adjust and adapt. So, all right, you ready
Yeah.
to
And on that
jump
note,
into, oh, sorry. Yeah.
well, one last thought there. I mean, when it comes
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to having success and making money, um, collaborations have always been the key for me. So referral partners, like I never wanted to go out and market and sell myself that much. So finding referral partners, people that would go out there and promote me and I could pay them for sales and commissions, that's translated into my service business, but also that's worked really well in digital product sales. So finding people that have audiences already that you can partner with, and it's a win-win collaboration, and they'll go and promote you. You can work out affiliate commissions with them. That's been huge for my business and for my clients. And that's one of the fastest ways to, get that off of your plate and give you more time to focus on what you love to do.
That's awesome. I think that's really encouraging for other creators to hear too, that like that's it's actually something you can do. Like you can ask for help and you can build those relationships and make those connections that help you become more successful. So, all right. A lot of value already right up here at the top. So, awesome. All right, ready to jump into this website review?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This website was submitted by Mark, who created an online course to help people and businesses leverage AI. His question is, what am I missing that could provide more value?
Yeah, I love this. And first off, I wanted to review this one because I'm a huge fan of AI. I've been consulting with an AI startup for a couple of years. So it's a really fun space to be in. And this is a really cool offer that you've put together. And I really think you're onto something here. So when it comes to value, you have a lot of value. I can tell you've put a lot of thought into this, identifying your target audience, who this is for. You've put a lot of like features and details about what's going to be included in the course, and you put this certification together. So really cool ideas here. The big thing I want to share is a few ways to add more value in your offer. First is to increase the desired outcome or the dream outcome. And one thing I think is missing here, it could be improved, is what do they really want? Why are they going to get certified as an AI prompt engineer? It's a very technical thing. Sounds cool. They probably understand that that's valuable or it's a hot topic if they're into this already. But really, the big takeaway here is they're going to make more money. They're going to create new income opportunities for themselves and position themselves for future success. So I would make that more prominent, right? What's the ultimate dream outcome that they have? Why would they go through this process? So the dream here for them is going to be wealth creation, right? They're going to position themselves as a leader in this space, get certified, learn the skills, and create more opportunities for themselves in their career. So I'd make that more prominent in all of your messaging, a little bit less on the features and more on the benefits of what they really want. The second way to add more value is let me pull up my notes real quick. And I'm going to share a resource that I really recommend checking out. It's called, let me pull up here. One of the frameworks that I follow is Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. And I recommend checking out his book and his website because he breaks this down really well and summarizes a lot of the best ideas in the marketing world that have been proven over the years. So the first one there is to add more value, maximize the dream outcome. The second one is to increase the likelihood of success. Now, one thing I noticed is, you have this placeholder of people who will become prompt engineers, and that's really cool. I like the direction you're going there, is showing that other people have done it. And that's a great direction at this stage, since you're doing this like beta launch. I understand having like a placeholder here. So that's okay, but that doesn't give me a lot of confidence that you're going to get me where I want to go, right? So there's no one there yet. So maybe share more of your own journey or make that more clear here that you have the solution for them and that you will get them where they want to go. The way to get past that right now is if you have some kind of freebie, I don't see on your site anywhere where they can get like a free sample or any content right now. So if you haven't done that yet, create some kind of sample of what they're going to get access to, because that would give me more confidence that, oh, I like this person's teaching style and I'm confident that they can get me where I want to go. The long-term plan there is, that directory of certified prompt engineers is going to be really cool. So sharing those stories will give other people confidence that you can get them to that dream outcome. So those are two quick ways. You're on the right track with both of these. The third one is to decrease the time. So two things here you want to decrease are the time and effort that the person will have to go through to get to that dream outcome. All right. So make it more obvious, like how quick you're going to get us through this. So how fast are these tutorials, right? So you have a lot here about who it's for, but you can pretty much summarize the who it's for into a broader statement that's like, get yourself in position to, advance in your career with your AI certification, right? It's going to unlock new income opportunities. That would pretty much attract all of these people, and they get the idea. You don't have to be as specific here or detailed, maybe quickly mention who would benefit from that. But these people, I think, would resonate with that message. So you can clean this up a bit and make it less detailed. And then down here, A little bit more about this is good. So the fast track 30 days, that's great. Maybe the length of time. What are the expectations here of how long are these trainings? Speed and effort. Reduce that, and that will make it more perceived value. All right. So those are the four things. Increase the desired outcome and where you're taking them. So be more clear about that, not so much in the details. Secondly, make it more clear that you are the best person for them and they're going to get there. So a sample or freebie could be a great way to do that now. And then just making it faster and easier for them to get the results.
Very cool. So on that first note that you have, um, I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot a little bit here, but I'm curious
Mm-hmm.
how would you adjust that very first call to action section, um, and specifically maybe like the title, like what might you say instead to uh, to create that sense of like, oh, this is going to create my dream outcome for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. A framework I would look at for that is, again, I like frameworks. One mistake I've made over the years is spending too much time on design land. I love design, the visual aesthetic, which I think is really solid here. The messaging is the big money maker, and that's what I've learned over the years. So the messaging is exactly on point. What should actually be there? I would use Donald Miller's framework for website creation. He's got a book called Marketing Made Simple, and he breaks it down. And the header section is all about just clarity, being super clear. And he calls it like the caveman grunt test. Something like really obvious, like they could read it and understand exactly what they're going to get. So something like a course to help you get certified in AI prompt engineering so you can unlock new income opportunities in your career. Something more really clear like that. Maybe that'd be too much for one sentence, but that's the message and the sentiment you want to get across there is, you already have the course here, but, get certified as a prompt engineer so you can advance your career or position yourself for success in this changing world. Something more along those lines would be what I want to see to grab their attention. And then you would have a little bit more details like you have here, but that big bold headline should be more desired outcome focused.
Very cool. Yeah, and thanks for pointing folks toward that resource as well. I've been a fan of Donald Miller, and especially like what he has to say about headers and stuff. Going to the certified prompt engineers, if you can go back to that page again, you you were calling out that like it looks kind of like they're using this as a placeholder, and um, and there's like we weren't given so much information to say that, oh, these are like this is a website in development and I have content for some of it, it's just not all in there yet or whatever. But I like that advice that you gave in general, just that if you have something like that is kind of your version 3 of what you hope your content will be on your website, um, you know finding a way to kind of bridge the gap between where you are now and where you'd like to eventually be. So I can't remember, you said for that section maybe sharing a little bit more of their personal journey.
Yeah, it would be cool to show the results, right? So they now have, what's the outcome of going through this program after they became a certified prompt engineer? What did that do for their career, their income, whatever it is that you're promising? If you could document that, this just becomes a page of case studies. Now it looks like you're looking at it as even a potential, which ties right into it. Again, you're putting their website link. So this will be a directory where people can hire these people. So again, you're creating new opportunities for them to get more business right here. So you're adding a lot of value by doing this. And if this just really becomes a bunch of basically case studies or testimonials to prove that you can help someone new.
Very cool. All right, did you have any other notes on this website before we move on?
Yeah, I think the last thing would be, and this is again something I love from Donald Miller and his framework, is what are the like 3 steps that someone needs to take to get to that outcome? And basically you have the whole path here. They need to, buy your program, right? So the one thing I noticed is there's different tiers and offers on this site. This offer is really clear, and I love how the button is set up this way with the limited time, the urgency. Actually, it's really creative how they set up the buttons. I think even down here, yeah, I like this design on the buttons a lot. So really cool stuff here. Great offer, great promotion, very strong call to action. The question I have as a potential customer is, what are the exact steps? Like, how big of a journey am I going on here? So if you could have something like 1, 2, 3, buy the course, complete your certification, and now get more business, or whatever that ultimate outcome is, like attract more income opportunities or get a raise in your current job. Whoever you're talking to, try to get clear on, like, even if it's just vague, like make more money. I mean, I don't know. It could be the third step is now you are a leader in your industry and you can now charge more or get more business with this certification. So it's really 1, 2, 3. That's more clear than just assuming that they know that, right? Because you probably know that that's the journey they need to go on, but make it really obvious. So maybe do like a 3-column setup where it's literally just 1, 2, 3 using the column layout, the grid layout. Just let them know, buy the course now, get certified in 30 days, and now you're on track to make more money in your career.
I love that. That's really straightforward, and it also just, like it makes the kind of dream outcome just so obvious and simple. All right. I'm just going to bring in, we got one comment from Trevor, who says he literally just finished the 100 million offers, $100 million offers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I obviously have not checked that out, so I'm gonna have to add it to my list as well.
Yeah, you'll keep going back, Trevor. Keep going back through it over and over and over. I can't get enough of it. I have to keep diving back in and like reminding myself, because he lays it out really well. And to me, it's the best summarization of all the best marketing books that I've read. He just did a great job of just laying it out in a clear path. So if you want to add more value to your offers, that's a good place to start. And he even talks about charging more. And this is one thing I'll point out too with anyone who's watching: charging more and bundling your stuff to make that promise bigger, and then showing that you have the solution, even if it's a bunch of products or programs or offers that you have. Try to keep it simple for the customer. Do this, buy this, get where you want to go. Don't give them a bunch of things. I think there's some clarity here, but there are multiple tiers and different offers. If you could keep it as simple as possible, this is what I found with my clients who've done 6-figure launches with their courses. And we've done over $1 million now through Podia sites using this strategy: is charge a little bit more, make your promise bigger, and again, package it all up in a way that's so appealing. And it's clear that if they do this, they're going to get where they want to go and get that desired outcome. And whether that's your video courses or community or resources, downloads, ongoing training and support, however you can do that for them, package it up in a way that's easy for them to understand. It's really compelling, and they're going to want to click that buy button.
Yeah, so instead of having to take like 20 steps, it's just 3.
One decision.
All right.
Yep. Do it now.
All right, you ready to move on to the next site?
Let's do it.
This website, let me make sure we've got this on Technopath. All right. So this website was submitted by Sarah, who worked in nonprofit management for 10 years, and she now teaches nonprofits how to leverage Salesforce to make a bigger impact. And her question is, how can I display all the content I have in a digestible way?
Yeah, and that's a great question that this comes up all the time. So I was reviewing the site, and yeah, we want them to see all the offers and everything that you can do for them. But what is the visitor wanting to see? They want to see a clear path, clear direction, simple call to action. So this site right now, let's take a look. I really like having your face there. Having a face towards the top is a really good idea, and that just builds that trust way faster. So that's one tip I would put on the other site too, is try to get your face up higher, if not right in the top, at least the first quick scroll down so they could see who's there helping them. If you are building a personal brand, or at least want to build that connection, you're going to get trust way faster. So great tip there. I like the top section. This maybe could be cut down a little bit. I don't want to read that as a customer. I just want to see exactly what you can do for me and then what I need to do. So the call to action here, it's a little bit too vague, and I'd like to see more clarity of like, get the thing now, do this, or at least some kind of action, ideally something free I could do to get started. Below that, I would put a 3-column layout. So right now you have, all your stuff, and this is a good starting point. A lot of people will start to build out their assets and their offers, and it starts to stack up. And now you have this library of content, which is great. But as a new person visiting, I'm not really sure where to get started, right? So now it starts to turn into all these offers and becomes a little bit overwhelming. So if you could categorize this or sort things, that would be a really good way to organize it. And I noticed you did that in some of your navigation menus, which is great. So you have like Salesforce admins. You've organized it by the target audience. You have resources for them. And this is much easier to navigate. If I'm a Salesforce admin, I see that there's value here, some free stuff. I can buy a course. I can, dive in further. And there's a podcast. So I like how you did that there. And that may be what you need to do on the homepage, is guide people to where they need to go. So you could use your homepage as a simple navigation. And if you had maybe 2 or 3 target customer demographics or types of customers, create a 3-column grid down here and just link over, hey, if you are a Salesforce admin, go here. And then you can create a page more catered to them. So use this homepage as a catch-all to guide them where they need to go to get the resources that are available to them. And then on that page that they land on, try to be clear again with the promise of where you're taking them and then what steps they need to take to get there. And it may just be, start for free, grab our free resources, and then buy our courses, and then you'll be where you want to go. So that is the fastest way to clean this up. Organize it by who you're talking to, just like you're doing in the navigation. But I've noticed this even recently with some of my clients, is you put in the navigation and you assume that's good enough, but on mobile, it's not as easy to find that. They may not dig in there as much. So on the homepage, it's actually best to repeat some of the navigation right here below your header section with 3 columns and 3 buttons to guide them where they need to go.
That's fantastic feedback. I hadn't actually thought about that before. How, and this is actually, I think this is the first time we've had someone mention the mobile experience. But yeah, like I rarely, go up to that hamburger menu to see how I can navigate the site. Like I'm immediately, scrolling through, seeing if there's something relevant for me to click on and take me where I want to go. So that's great feedback.
Yeah, I could even show you one more tip on my site, which I've recently been revamping this a bit with some of these tips that I'm sharing with you guys. Is some kind of quick navigation here to guide them where they need to go. And then what I'm also doing is the menu item up here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. I'm repeating this on the footer too. So one feedback I had was always add that down here in the footer as well. So that same menu I put down here. So if they scroll to the bottom, they can get guided into those pages again. So if you clean up the menu up here, you repeat that here on the home page, and then you also put it down in the footer, that'll make the best user experience possible.
Going back up to the top. So this is again, kind of one of those situations where that top spot on the website, you really want to nail that. You want to get it right. And I've actually had similar feedback about sections like this where it's kind of trying to do multiple things. So I'm seeing, there's a little bit of kind of like a bio, and of course she's got her picture there. So, she's sharing her story. But it's also just adding to the length, and you have to scroll down before you even see the button. And then the button itself doesn't have, like, there aren't any verbs in there. No. So it's not like kind of as compelling to take action. So what are, if you're looking at all of the kind of different elements that are represented in that first section, what would you take out, and then what would you like leave?
Yeah, I like to think of the website kind of like a slide deck So what we're doing here is, like you mentioned, you're putting like 3 slides in one here. So you want to try to break it up. And you notice this a lot with uh, Podia sites in particular. You'll have like an image and then like this long thing of text over here on the side. And it's just, first off, visually, you don't want to have the text longer than your image. So you want to try to cut that down. And that's actually a good strategy anyways, because people don't want to see that much text all in one chunk. So you start to think of it as like you're guiding them through these steps on your site, just like a slide deck. And sites like apple.com are really good. If you ever look at like the iPhone sales page, it's just like short text, benefit, call to action, with a nice image. As you scroll down the page, they've really simplified the experience of someone going through, because you don't want to overwhelm them with too much information and different mixed calls to action. So I think something like, getting them started, if you had a clear promise again at the top, I will help you, boom, boom, boom. I help so-and-sos do this and get the results. So you have some of that in here. It's a little bit too detailed with the bio. They're looking, what's in it for me? What's the benefit? Do I understand what you do? This headline doesn't really give me that information. Some more clarity on where you're taking them, who you're helping, what they need to do. And maybe you don't need a button there. It could just be like, check out the resources below and define what you need right now. And that could just guide them down into that 3-column layout. The button maybe doesn't need to be here, because that wouldn't be appropriate to everyone visiting. So it'd be like, hey, get started now. I've got some resources and training to help you get where you want to go. Click below to get started. So they could just tell them to scroll down and then see, oh, I am a Salesforce admin. Let me click there to get started. And then below all that, right? So now you're cleaning up this homepage with some clear call to action or promise of what you're offering them and what they need to do. You give them 3 options, or 2 or 3, to get started. And then below that, you have the bio section to build the trust and the authority. But they don't need to see that right away. They want to know what's in it for them.
All right, those are all great call outs. Do you have any other thoughts or notes on this website?
I think the same things I mentioned in the previous one would apply here. So, getting them the clear results. Use if you can, try to find a way to add more value, in the sense that you're clear on where you're taking them. And maybe they don't want to buy a bunch of different programs. I would consider bundling these together into one and have that clear path for them. If you want to sell them a la carte, that's great. It could be nice to have that available if you're talking to different people and they just want one thing. But you should try to move towards having like a complete solution for someone. They just want to get that result that you're promising. Here's what they need to do. Maybe it'll include these things. You give them guidance on what steps to take first, right? Like start with this freebie, then go through this, then go through this. Give them a path to get where they want to go.
So I'm kind of curious, because I know you work with a lot of entrepreneurs and help them turn their expertise into online courses. Do you run into this kind of thing a lot, where somebody has, a lot of expertise, and they maybe have a lot of different ideas about ways they could apply their expertise, and so they come up with, maybe like, oh, I've got 5 different online course ideas. We could talk about this thing and that other thing. Do you run into that a lot, where it's kind of fragmented like that, and you kind of have to coach them to bundle more of those things together and make a bigger offer?
Yeah, it's a huge problem. So the thing I like to start with people is start with like a coaching program and validate that people will pay for it first. And usually that's going to be like, oh, obviously I could sell this is what I would sell if it was a coaching 1-to-1 or maybe a small group. Some of the biggest success stories that I've had with people is they'll just pitch the idea to like 5 or 10 people and say, hey, let's go through this together over X amount of time. Maybe it's 30 days or 3 months. Go through it with a group of people, solve the problems with them, get feedback, and try your best to just help them. Try to get clear on where you're going to take them, and then do whatever you got to do to get them there in that time. Again, trying to help them do it themselves, not you doing it all for them, but give them the resources, the templates, the training that they need to do it themselves. And through that process, you're going to develop a solution that is something that you could package and sell over and over on autopilot, because through that process, you can document things, create trainings and recordings. Even if you don't do it with them, you could do just Zoom calls and talk it out and help them on the fly. But whatever you do with them, turn that into your course. And that could become your signature program that has all the stuff all in one. And then what I've seen people do is break out things from that. So like, oh, this email script was really useful. I could package that and sell it as a standalone product for a lower price. But if you start with the complete solution, you'll become known for that. You can build the testimonials, which I really think was great with the the prompt engineers. You have a clear outcome of where they're going to get to. So if you can start to get people through that process, you'll become known for something. You'll build that credibility in your industry, and it'll be much more obvious what you do and the value that you're providing. If you don't have that and you're selling all these different products and programs, it becomes kind of scattered. Your message isn't as clear, and it's not as obvious to people how much you can do for them. So starting with that full solution is actually an easier thing to sell. You can charge more and get paid upfront to start building out your course.
Yeah, I sense the theme being just, bring a lot of clarity and make it as simple as possible for people to buy things from you.
That's it. But if you do have this situation here, you can always package all that up. Again, just take what you've already created and do it the other way around and say, okay, cool. Now where I've created all this stuff, and maybe you'll have more clarity on what value you can give them. Now they're at a point where like your customer visiting your page, like, I don't know where to start. So now your job is to repackage all this stuff you've already made into a cohesive step-by-step plan. And that's where bundles can really come into play. But you can just package a bundle of stuff. It could be random stuff, and maybe you start to piece it together for them into a step-by-step plan. Go through this course, then do this thing, and then watch this. You can create a plan later as well.
All right, those are all great tips. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a couple of comments and questions that we've gotten. Mark said that's a great tip about the navigation, and then he immediately followed that up with logs into my Podia account to update. So you got people making live updates to their websites based on your advice. Project 2 Million says the Course Builder Pros site is so well done. Great example to follow. So I'm glad that you showed off a little bit of that. And then he also asked what software was used for the Course Builder Pros photos. He says those on the cards, or they say those on the cards, and the others used on various pages. The collages of laptop, person, course pages all look great.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. That's kind of what I do with Design Hacker, actually. So what's crazy is, where is it? There it is. A lot of this stuff, I actually use Google Slides to make all my graphics, which is kind of mind-blowing. Like all this stuff was pretty much done with Google Slides, and I think you're looking at, like, that was actually made with Google Slides. So you can use Canva, whatever. I mean, it's these laptop designs, you can find those in Canva and whatnot. All of this is really just screenshots with some drop shadow and then some little icons and things. So you could pretty easily do that in Google Slides or any really free Canva tool out there. It's just more endless hours of me tinkering and designing, and then it turns into this. So I've made millions and millions of graphics. I can't even keep track over the years. I mean, I've been doing this professionally for like 10 years. So this stuff takes time and a lot of effort to get that kind of design, but you can do some simple stuff pretty easily and just, it's really just packaging it and dropping it all together. And that could take years to develop your unique look and feel. This did not happen overnight. So again, I would just say you don't have to stress over it as much. With my clients, we try to get a really simple minimum viable page up. We start simple first and prove that you can sell it, because that's actually the most important thing. And then you can start to enhance your page and designs over time. But I wouldn't say start there, because I've started with really simple designs for our clients and they sell like crazy. So it's not required to have it look this premium. Really, actually, on a design front, like big, bold, clear fonts, simple colors are actually a way better way to go to get started. So keep your design as simple as you can. Be bold and clear in your messaging, and get that messaging dialed in first before you stress about super fancy graphics.
Yeah, and you really can sink a ton of time into like perfecting those little details in the design. That's an interesting tip with Google Slides. I've never actually thought of Google Slides as like, oh, you can put together designs in there.
Man, the things I've done with Google Slides, I started doing that. That was my design hacker business back in 2015. I used them because I could sell templates. This was before Canva had that option. So I was making templates with Google Slides. I would just sell, a duplicate of the file as the product. So my first digital products that I was selling were just the Google Slide files. It was a great business.
Nice. Yeah, that's very cool. All right. Are you ready to move on to the last website?
Let's do it.
All right. Sorry, I just realized I was muted. I'm going to go ahead and
I'm
intro
like,
that
is that
again.
me?
Yeah, no, that was totally my fault. All right. So this website comes to us from Travis, who is putting his years of athletic education experience into online courses for youth baseball players and beginner youth coaches. His question is, what's a layout design strategy I could use to maximize visitor retention?
Yeah. I think we got the same tips for this one. So this is, what's interesting is the goal of retention. Now, first off, I love this site. I wanted to be a baseball player, professional baseball player when I grew up. So I love what that Travis is doing here. This is a really cool business, and I think a lot of potential. There was a one of the first things that inspired me to get into online business was a story of a football coach, high school football coach, who built an online membership, teaching other coaches and like creating strategy playbooks and stuff, and built like a six-figure business doing that as a membership and helping other coaches. So that those kind of stories get me really excited because you can just take your passion, what you already love doing, and find a way to help more people and like share your proven strategies and like become the go-to person in your industry. And then you create a network and a community of people that you like to hang out with and talk to, and you're just providing so much value to them. Be the person in your industry to do that. So I think there's an opportunity here, and I love the direction and the vision for this brand. When it comes to retention, I wouldn't stress, or on the website, the goal isn't really to get retention, it's to get them to take action. So we're not trying to keep them here on the front, customer facing website. The retention is going to be more on the back end in the community. And that's a whole different strategy, through emails, through, engaging, answering questions. That's a different conversation for the community side of it. On the website itself, I would focus much more on driving them to take action. So we go back to our same strategies using the $100 million offers framework, providing more value, getting clear on the vision, the dream. And so this kind of messaging, baseball education, where are you trying to get them? What kind of result can you promise for players, coaches, or parents? That's again a similar challenge. You're targeting maybe 3 different audiences here. If you have programs for coaches or specifically for parents, I would maybe put 2 columns here on the homepage. So as a coach, I'm showing up, oh, does he have resources for me? Where do I find them? What do I need to do? So I'd make that prominent, like, hey, we'll help you increase your baseball knowledge so you can help, be a better parent or coach and help them reach their full potential in their baseball journey, something like that. So help your kids reach their full potential in their baseball career journey, right? So that's a promise. Cool. For coaches, for parents, you have different tracks or resources for them. That's what I would want to see if I was a potential customer. Where do I go? And then you would guide them through that process. Okay, I've got a process for coaches. You can join our community. We've got high level lessons and programs that you can do. We've got strategy books, whatever you're offering the coaches, make that clear and put all that in one place. And if you can, create a track for them. We've got all these different programs, right? These are freebies, and that's great. So you have some free stuff here, but try to make it more clear what I should do first. And maybe first thing is like, hey, try out some of our freebies. So if they're a coach, that could be a page for the coaches to try out some of our freebies. And then after you do that, join our community or buy our full bundle product to get everything in one place. So that's clear now what you want me to do, instead of having to show up and, I don't know where you're taking me. I'm just going to grab a freebie and then be gone forever. Or do you have a clear path of, hey, this is just a starting point, get a sample, but really what I want you to do is join our membership or buy our bundle, because that's what you're going to need to get the results that you want, right? So if you have a bigger promise and vision for them, they're going to know what you want and what's expected. And when I get the freebie, that's cool, a sample, I'm building trust. I'm going to know you, like you, trust you. But at this point, I don't know what else you have for me. So I have bundles. Let's go there. So it's the focus on saving money, baseball improvement. All right. So it's just taking me too much time to get into the details of what you have for me. And there's not an offer here. So that's where I think there's a big opportunity for improvement. And that's just part of the process. You've done a great job of getting this far. I know this takes a lot of work to get all this stuff put together that you've done. So that's the cool thing. The good news is you have a really cool brand. You obviously are creating content and great resources. You're definitely engaging with your customer, figuring out what they need and providing solutions for them. So the next step for you is to package this up a little bit better with the clear path of where you can take them. If you are helping coaches, show them, create that, customer testimonial success board, like who else is in the community or who else has bought these programs? What have they done? How has this changed their coaching abilities and help their players get better results? Start to document those stories, just like the prompt engineer certification. Same strategy would apply here. Create a board of your, Hall of Fame or something of your coaches or your parents who have had success going through your programs, and have them share how that's made their life easier, better, more fun, the joy that they feel watching their kid, hit a home run. Like those are the kind of things you can start to capture and document and showcase on your site. And now it's clear, oh, cool, I could be like them. Let me get into your program. Let me try this freebie. But also I know that I'm going to need to buy some things from you to really get where I want to go.
I love that you really kicked it off with this idea of you almost don't want them to stay on your website for long. Like you want your website to be so clear to the person who's coming to your website. You want it to be so clear what you want them to do that they stay on your website for as short a period of time as possible before they buy something. And then, like if you have them watching your content or getting into your community, like that's kind of a different thing. But it, that kind of goes back to that theme again of just like making it really clear, guiding the customer to the right information, and painting a picture for them of, what life could look like on the other side of whatever you have to offer.
Yep, that's a great summary of what they need to do. So getting them to take that first step, it's a big step, even getting them to do something for free. That's some kind of like, they're going to put in their email, they're going to take an action, they're diving in. Like, don't assume this is an easy decision for them. So having a bigger vision of where they want to go, even talking about the potential in this case of, help your child have, become the baseball player they've always dreamed of, like be the parent you want to be, give them the training and support that will help them on their journey. Take the first step now and get this thing, right? Like, what do I need to do? Okay, you're telling me take the first step and do this. At this point, I'm like, I don't know what step I need to take and where are you trying to take me? So that's all you need to do is it's just messaging at this point. I think the brand is really good. It's fun. I like the logo. Visually, it's the visuals in this case are not really going to make or break. It's just baseball. It's got a great theme. It's a classic look and feel. But like you said, clarity of painting the picture of where you're trying to take them, how you can help them. And if there are two different audiences, I would put that right here. Hey, parents, I can help you out. Go here, watch this quick video, and it may be a quick 5-minute video of breaking down how you've helped other people and some of the problems that parents face, the struggles that make them feel less alone. Say, hey, actually, I've worked with a lot of parents, and these themes keep coming up. That's why I put together a program to help you over the next 3 months or whatever it is, learn these skills. You can do some at-home things or like whatever it is that you're offering. Empower the parent, right? And then make the first step really easy. Maybe they won't want to buy right away, but maybe they'll get that free guide or a quick a quick win to get started. And then from there, you have more trust. And the really cool thing too is if you are doing freebies, which you're doing a lot of, freebies aren't going to be that effective if you haven't already established that bigger vision. So if you start by establishing the bigger journey and the desired outcome, then they get that freebie, they know that they're expected to do more. If you're just saying, hey, get this free thing, they're not going to be as likely to follow up because they don't even know. Like, oh, cool, you just want me to get a free thing? Great. I'm on with my life. And now I've got this free thing. They don't know that there's more for them, that you have a longer journey available to them.
Yeah, so painting that picture up top before you get to the freebies kind of contextualizes what the freebie represents in their overall journey with your brand. It sounds like that's kind of what you're describing.
Definitely.
On the bundle discount page, it looks like it's another one of those situations where maybe they have something in mind that they plan on putting on that page, and maybe they're still developing it or putting it together. But for someone, let's say they don't have the bundles put together yet, but they want to let people know that bundles are coming. Would it justify having a page like this, and how might they structure that? What could they maybe add to this page to make it something actionable and compelling for somebody before they actually have that put together?
Yeah. What's it called on Podia? It's not the waiting list. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What's the feature
List.
called? Waitlist. Yeah. You can have them sign up for email. Like, hey, coming soon. We're putting some bundles together. If you're interested, drop your email. We'll send you an email. That would be a great quick win to just have a page up. But also you start to, see if there's interest. And I can get some feedback. If you have a lot of people checking out your site and going through stuff, you could put that up, or just have a page. If it comes up in conversation, hey, go here, drop your email, and I'll send you an update once it's ready. So you can at least guide people into that and build up a list of people who are interested. And that could be a really good way to just even, again, validate if they won't even put their email in. If you do a big promotion, you could try just like, hey, if you're interested, put your email in, and that would give you feedback if you should create the product or not and put the time into it. So I do that with a lot of clients. We call it like a get notified. We say, hey, we're developing this course or this program or this bundle. Put your email here if you want to get notified when it's ready. And give them a reason too. Say, hey, there'll be a big discount for the first week that it's available. So you'll get that email invite when it's ready. And that's, I see here, like discounted price. It's a big offer, but there's no call to action. So give them a reason to put their name in and just be clear about that. And that's a good place to get started. And you could have that up for a while and just collect emails for as long as you need.
Yeah, that's some of the advice we've given creators about building courses or building out products is to pre-launch even before it's done, because one, it kind of it puts a little bit of pressure on you to get going on it, and to maybe you put a date out there of like, okay, it's going to launch by this time, and but that validation piece is huge because you learn a lot. And it's a great exercise, like part of that, if you're going to pre-launch something, or like if they're going to bundle things, you have to build out this page as if the product is already completed, as if the outcome it's going to produce for people. So you kind of do that exercise even before you have all the details worked out. And it's just a really, really great way to gather real data and like hear from real people and see whether or not it's something that actually has a chance at being a good seller for you.
Yeah, with my clients, I never have them create anything until they've pre-launched it, pre-sold it, whatever it is. Some people do it for free. Like, hey, I'm looking for 5 beta testers to come help me build out this course. If you can't get them to do it for free, then don't spend 6 months building your course, right? So a free invite to get some people is great. If you could charge up front and turn it into like a coaching program. So it's not just the course content that they're getting, but they're getting help with you through this process. you're selling the idea at that point. So I've had people sell it for thousands of dollars, and their intention is to build a course, but they are looking for 3 people right now to work with. Even if it's one-on-one, just sell it as a program, but that, in your mind, I'm going to turn all this into a course that I will sell and teach to other people. But for those people, they get the personalized attention, the custom, support and training. Maybe I'll do some stuff for them. You're just trying to create those case studies, and you get paid essentially to build your course that will then help you scale your business and help a lot more people.
That is a fantastic piece of advice that you also shared earlier about using coaching kind of as a stepping stone to building a larger product or an online course. And I think there are a lot of creators that kind of they don't consider, they think of that as like, oh, that's a separate thing that I would do, but like I need to do my online courses. They come into digital entrepreneurship thinking that there's this one specific thing they need to do. But that's such a great piece of advice, is just having, it's kind of the stakes feel a little bit lower because you're not spending a ton of time creating something, like in the dark, and then just hoping when you release it that it's going to resonate with people. Like you actually get to work with the people one-on-one that would eventually become your customers.
It's so much more fun that way. And you get past that perfectionism. You have built-in accountability, like you said. I just think it's the ultimate way to create all of your digital products. That's how I've made everything. I used to do a membership where it was all just live training. Like every Friday I would show up and like have a new thing for them every week. And then I would show them and like teach them on the training how to use that new template or that resource. And it gave me like weekly accountability to create the products that I wanted to create. Like I wanted to do this, but even if you want to do it, even if you're getting paid to do it, it's still work and it's still difficult. And you run into all of those blocks internally, your own perfectionism, your fear of whatever, just the stress of life and excuses. So create that accountability, like either charge people or make a promise. A good friend of mine had a dream of building an online course, and she just kept overcomplicating it. I said, you know what, just do the easiest thing possible. Like go text 5 people and get them in a text group or whatever. Like keep your tech as easy as you can to get started, whatever you got to do. And so she started just helping people, right? Whether it's a free Facebook group or a chat group, whatever, like start as easy as you can, but eventually you'll start to package that into your offer. And for her, that was the starting point. She started helping people for free. And then she pre-sold her course. Hey, who's interested in this course? I'm going to put together an 8-week program. She sold that and made that program. That was actually the stepping stone into a 6-figure plus online course business, which is a side income stream for her. She still has her main income stream, but now she's also teaching and educating. She now has masterminds and multiple products and programs and courses. And she's just a machine now. And it's easy because she got over that hurdle. The first one is the hardest. Getting your stuff set up is the hardest. So try to keep it as simple as you can to begin with. Focus more on connecting with your customer, solving problems for them, and do that over time. Build it out 1 week at a time. And then a few months later, you'll look back and be like, wow, I've got a course. I've got stuff available. Let me go talk to more people. Let me get them in the program. Like now the videos are there. Now I can focus on higher level stuff or adding new things or adding bonuses. So you can just eliminate all that wasted effort, scale yourself, multiply yourself, and now you get to spend all your time doing what you love.
This is the way. And you use that word fun, and I like the way you describe it. It just sounds so fun, but it also sounds so accessible. So that's really great advice. I appreciate you sharing that. Do you have any other thoughts on this website?
I think I think the combination of all these today, the biggest takeaways that have helped me, just understanding, how to provide more value, how to structure my websites and sales pages. And the key here is the messaging. Those 2 resources I recommend going through. $100 Million Offers, it's a great book. And then Marketing Made Simple is another book. And both of those have frameworks that you can follow. If you ever get lost, it actually breaks down how to what to put on your sales pages, what emails to write, how to make offers that are more appealing to your audience. And if you just stick with that for the next couple of years, you're going to be light years ahead, because you really can't get any better than those frameworks. Now it's about taking action and actually doing it. So get Podia, build your site, get the basic nuts and bolts put together. Don't stress over the branding too much at the beginning. It's going to evolve. Your brand will evolve. Your message will evolve. So I think all these examples today were really great. I can see how much work they put in, and they're in a position now to just tweak and continue helping people. And over time, it's just going to get easier and better as you go.
Awesome. Well, I echo that sentiment. Go start your Podia site. It's free and it's easy to get up and running. Don't stress too much over the details. That's how, we designed it to be something easy to just get up and running and really just focus on, like you said, Andrew, focus on the messaging, making things clear for your visitors, and thinking about, being really thoughtful about how you're going to guide them. So, all right. Well, this has been super valuable. So thank you so much for taking the time. I'm going to address one quick question here from Anthony. This is related to Podia. He says, if you put your email into one form, does it go into all the regular subscribers? How can I tag or identify these emails? So I think he's talking about in the Podia backend, how we handle if you're collecting emails for a pre-launch or for a waitlist. And currently, the way we handle that is in your email tab, those are actually categorized based on the product for which the person signed up for or the waitlist they joined. So you'd be able to see those there. Mark says, thanks, Andrew. And I really appreciate all of you tuning in. So I'm gonna say a few quick things here in closing. So Andrew is one of our Podia Pros, and the Podia Pros program connects you with expert designers, specialists, and educators who know Podia inside and out. And there's Andrew right there. So you can learn more about that at podia.com/podia-pros. And also, I've got a special announcement. We have our first winner of the Fiverr $500 bonus prize. It goes to Sarah Epting, and her website was one of the ones we reviewed earlier. So congratulations to Sarah. And if you want to have your website reviewed by a Podia Pro and have a chance to win one of these bonus prizes or up to $2,000, you can go to podia.com/creator-fellowship and apply by submitting your Podia website by May 9th. So you've got a few more days to do that. If you enjoyed today's website reviews, we've got more coming over the next several days. And the best way to tune in is to go to our YouTube channel, and under the live tab, you can just click notify me on any of these other streams that you'd like to check out. All right. Andrew, thank you again so much for taking your time and sharing all of these great insights with us. If anyone wants to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, the best place is coursebuilderpros.com. You can grab our free checklist, the process we go through with our clients. And also, we're giving away some free consultations where we're going to help you get your messaging together. So if you want to get your messaging dialed in, book a free consultation with us, and we'll help you get that done totally free. And then we'll see if we can help you any further.
Very cool. And we have your website listed on your name card too. So yeah, check it out, coursebuilderpros.com. Andrew, thanks again so much. Again, this was super valuable. I know folks got a lot out of it. And thank you, folks, for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next stream.